Hello everyone, this is Jotto, and welcome to the news. The show that reports on stuff from Tuesday and somehow comes out on Thursday. Yeah, 3 episodes in a row, I've kind of delayed them a bit. I keep trying to bring it back, and I failed spectacularly. But anyway, so for this week, we've got the golden tickets, and then we've got the new cards, and also balance changes for Masters. So pretty important stuff. So first things first, congratulations to Sprush and also to Ecop. Ecop is the invitee. He's the first of the invites that we know of. We should be getting the other 2 soon. And Sprush got the last of the golden tickets. So he's the one that won the golden ticket qual on Sunday. So anyway, we've got our new cards as always. We've got 3, and more importantly, at least for Masters, we've got balance changes. So if we head over to the collection here and have a look at these. There's 2. First one is Advanced Never. Advanced Never received a slight nerf, tiny nerf, where you have to cast it from hand. Now, the reason this is important is Brother-in-Arms. It basically means that Brother-in-Arms, and also Nienna, but mostly Brother-in-Arms, the important one, does not trigger the second draw, which is huge. Well, I say it's huge. It's only huge when you go Brother-in-Arms on first reference, which does happen quite a lot. Now, the real question is, how much of a nerf is this? It's a small one. I don't want to overstate this. It is a nerf. It's a small nerf. I think the bigger nerf to Hate Bears, at least in terms of Masters, is the fact that we've got the Thionor, and also we've got Silverfang, and we've got Demons as well, that kind of encourage you to try other green decks and also other corruption decks. So Hate Bears won't be as universal because it's been split a bit. Mostly because it uses Nature and Corruption, which are quite high demand colors right now in decks. So Hate Bears still very good. Is it the best deck in the game? That's yet to be seen. It kind of was, but it was very close. It was between this and Wisdom Dominion. And Rage is kind of snaking its way up there again. But it was between this and Wisdom Dominion, between Hate Bears and Wisdom Dominion. I think Wisdom Dominion is probably the strongest deck right now. Maybe. We'll have to see, because it's very difficult to predict things that far ahead of time, especially when we're getting new cards every single week. But I think Wisdom Dominion's probably taken the slot now. Partly because of this nerf, which is a small one, but it is a nerf. And also because of the Drayla buff. So, yeah, Hate Bears still very good. I love this nerf, by the way. Tiny nerf, just to bring it down a little bit for Masters, but nothing crazy. So, kudos to this nerf by the devs. Very well done. Drayla. Now, Drayla has had a cost reduction. She's now 3 mana. And also, her ability has been made optional. Her discard ability, I mean. So now you can have a look at their hand, you can discard a non-creature card, and if you discard, they draw, but you don't have to discard, which is kind of a big deal. Now, what do I think about the Drayla buff? Now, I do think Drayla is now good. I think she's quite useful, actually. I'm not sure about the Mind Extortion effect still, at least the way they've implemented it. So, for those of you that don't know, this version of Drayla, this design of Drayla, is based off a suggestion I made in the Drayla redesign thread, and I still prefer, well, I mean, partly because I'm the one who did the design, but I still prefer the one that I suggested, which was you can discard, it was non-creature, non-shrine, and then you can discard, and then when Drayla leaves play, they draw. And I had a 4 mana suggestion for that because Kayanu. I still prefer that for the Mind Extortion. However, I do prefer this balance for Drayla than the previous one. The previous Drayla was very weak. 4 mana, it was weak. And it was borderline useless. So I am very happy that Drayla is now playable again. I'm a bit concerned that she may be pushing Wisdom Dominion a little too high for Masters, but besides that, I do like the buff. It basically means that we've got an extra card in the game now, and I think she'll see some play, because a lot of Wisdom Dominion decks were essentially running 1 or 2 Mind Extorts just as an option, and a lot of them weren't, but some were, and now you can kind of run Draylas instead, since a lot of them were just used later on for sniping Dragonfires or something like that, and Drayla's quite good against Rage, because you've got the 3-4 body, you take the Dragonfire, and then it blocks the majority of the Flame Serpent. So I think Drayla will see some play. How much depends a lot on the lists and how the metagame goes, but in general she steals some play. She also works with Kayanu. A lot of people have tried that particular trick, where you can put Drayla under Kayanu, get a 4/5 that mind extorts them. So yeah, I think she'll definitely see some play now. I don't think she's too strong, but I could be wrong. But I don't think she's too strong. I think she's just right on the higher end of she's on the higher end of the playable spectrum, but I think she's good. Anyway, so that's the balance changes. That's what affects Masters. That, and we've got, you know, the secret cards coming in now from last week, which, you know, it could affect something. We've got the Slave, we've got Thionor, we've got Silverfang, and also Eternal Servitude. I don't think Eternal Servitude will make a splash, but I think the other three might. So yeah, Masters is looking interesting for this particular week. We've definitely had a little bit more of a meta shake-up than I think a lot of people were expecting, which is good, because it means that deck building gets rewarded, so I'm happy with that. So anyway, on to the secret cards for this week, and they're all Shaman related. Yes, we've got 2 totems and a Shaman, which I actually kind of like. I am holding off on Shamans until the set comes out, by the way. Some people have asked me whether or not I'm doing a deck tech for Shamans, but yeah, I'm going to wait until the set comes out, because I don't want to do a deck tech for Shamans, and then they release like 2 more Shamans, and then I'm kind of like, okay. Now I can't do a deck tech on it because I just covered it. So yeah, I'm going to wait until the set comes out, because it's one of those things where it's going to be a lot more interesting when the set comes out. So anyway, what are the 3 cards? Well, we got a common, an uncommon, and a rare. The common is Gurko Tribe Shaman. It's a 2 mana, 1 nature common, 2/1 with 2 speed, and it's a Goblin Shaman. Yes, a green Shaman. You may play Gurko Tribe Shaman under a creature you control to put a Might emblem on that creature. When that creature leaves play, return Gurko Tribe Shaman onto the field. So, it's like an attachable creature. This is cool. I like this mechanic. This is really cool. You can put Gurko Tribe Shaman under something to pump it up, and then say if they can't... Well, actually I muted myself there. If they Cataclysm you or they remove it, it sort of just comes back into play, which is really cool. So yeah, I do like that. It also means you can do instant speed totem activations. There you go. That's cool. But anyway, mostly for lightning totem. But yeah, that's a cool effect. So I'll definitely give them that. I definitely like the design for this. It's very, very good. Now, what do I think of the rest of the cards? So 2/1/2 speed is not fantastic stats for 2 mana. It's not awful though. I'll give them that. It's definitely playable. It's a bit low, but considering it's also a Shaman, yeah, I'll give them that, and technically also a Goblin. Yay, Swift. But anyway, so it has the standard Goblin stats of 2/1/2 speed. That's like normal Goblin stats. Now, the ability and also the Shaman typing kind of make up for the extra mana. And I definitely like the fact that there's a 2-drop Shaman now that's just a solid creature as well. I like that. It also kind of shows that they're moving Shamans into a red-green type of theming, which I think is good, because, I mean, Shamans are supposed to be sort of elemental, and it makes sense that they're using Nature and Rage, since Nature kind of takes up half the elements, and Rage takes up the other half. So that makes sense. It also is less abusable, and you kind of ran Enchanted Spring with them anyway, so it's kind of cool that they've got the bounces just integrated into Shamans now. So now there's 2 green Shamans between this and Thionor, and then there's also all the Raid Shamans, and we'll probably get another Raid Shaman, I wouldn't be surprised. But yeah, I definitely like this guy. For Trials play, I think he's a bit weak, but not unpickable, which is more than what you can say for most Shamans. So, onto the uncommon Totem of the Moon. 2 mana, 1 nature. When allied shaman enters the field, you may pay 1 energy to give creatures you control +1/+1 until end of turn. It's an uncommon and has 2 energy. 2 energy is quite low for a totem. Most of them have 3 or 4. But anyway, so what do I think of this? Well, it's a 2-drop totem. You can play it on turn 2, but you can't really play it on curve with Totem of Swiftness, but you don't really need Totem of Swiftness on curve sometimes. So you get your 2-drop totem, and it basically anthems your entire board. It gives them all +1/+1 every time a shaman enters play. If it's a Raki Tribe Mystic, that could be really good. You can give stuff Swift and then pump them as well. That could be good. I don't know about this. It does make stuff like Disciple of Ash a bit more useful as an actual play. Offers a bit more damage with your combos with Offering Yard Priest. I think it's playable. I think it's a decent totem, and I think, I mean, the bar for totems is pretty low. So I think that Totem Moon will probably see play. I'm curious to see whether there are any other totems in the set. I would not be surprised either way, to be honest. I wouldn't be surprised if there is one more, if there just aren't. So I think this will definitely see play. Same logic for this goes as in other totems for Trials play. Just don't pick it. It's not worth it. There just aren't enough shamans and totems to make a totem deck work. But for Constructed, I think it's good. Shamans are always a bit gimmicky, so it's difficult to assess whether or not they're actually going to be playable. But I do like these additions. I just don't think they're enough to bring the Shaman deck up enough. But I definitely like the design and the additions on these two nature sort of Shaman and Totem cards. And for the rare, we've got Totem of Roganoch. What's up with the names? But anyway, so 2 mana, 1 rage, 1 generic, legendary, and a rare. When an allied shaman enters the field, you may pay 1 energy, it has 2 energy, to transform Totem of Roganoch into a 3/3 1 speed creature until end of turn. At end of turn, if Totem of Roganoch, god damn it, has no energy, destroy it. It's an orc totem. This is awful. I'm just gonna say it. It's terrible. Like I'm not even sure what to say about it. It has 1 speed. It's terrible. It has 2 energy. That's low. It costs the same amount as the draw totem. It's legendary, so you can't even get multiple out. It has 1 speed, so it's pretty much useless in combat. And you have to use a shaman to activate it. What is this nonsense? This is terrible. Like, I get that Lamp is scary. Okay, Lamp is basically what this thing's similar to. Lamp is scary because Lamp causes problems with interaction. I get it. This is awful, though. This is really bad. So, yeah, I do not see this seeing any play, ever. It's basically, compared to Lamp, Lamp, you can play with Cataclysm, but Lamp, you can just use mana to activate, which is way easier than playing Shamans. It doesn't have limited activations. It has an extra speed and an extra attack. Yes, it costs more, but it doesn't destroy itself. Like, this thing costs 1, well, I mean, it's less restricted, but basically it costs 1 mana. Probably, I mean, you're going to be able to play it 2 turns ahead of time. But does it work like with Lamp, where you want to play it and then activate it to use it immediately? Because if that's the case, then you're playing a 3 mana Shaman on top of it, because I don't really feel comfortable using anything outside of Iraqi Tribe Mystic to trigger this, as far as I'm concerned. So, you've got essentially a Lamp that is terrible. That's basically what this is. That's pretty much all I have to say about it. It's a Lamp that's awful, and it's still vulnerable to all the same stuff, and it's more vulnerable to removal because you can't really use Vampirism with it, simply because you don't have any card draw at that point. I guess you kind of do with the Shamans, but it's sketchy. So you don't really have any card draw to make up for that. You don't have Jinn of Wishes to go find it. And, I mean, if you're using Jinn of Wishes with Totem of Roganoch, why aren't you just playing Lamps? That's the real question here. So I think this card is awful. It's definitely one of the worst. I think this is the worst secret card we've had. This is definitely the first secret card I've seen that's just like, yeah, it's unplayable. It's not even debatable. Like, with Void Touch Subordinate, at least it was kind of like, you could try and figure out whether or not it would be playable. I came to the conclusion it wasn't, but, I mean, it's still interesting. But this card's completely unplayable, and it will probably be buffed in the future. It's really difficult to make these transformational artifacts. Like, it really is, because if you make them too powerful, they get oppressive, and it's very easy to make them unplayable as well. But I think that they pulled this one back a little bit too hard. So yeah, I don't think this is worth the card slot. I'll put it that way. Yeah, I don't like this. Also, it's a giant statue, and it's a 3/3. Come on, it's a giant statue and it's a 3/3. So yeah, I'm not a fan of the Orky Totem, but the other two I really like. So as far as this week goes, when it comes to balance, I think the balance changes for Masters are good. I think that the secret cards overall are decent, and I think Masters is going to be an interesting tournament coming up. I'll definitely make a video after Masters, kind of my little tournament report on it. But I think it's definitely going to be interesting. I'll be playing, so I'll be streaming as usual. But yeah, for next week, I actually have no idea how they're going to keep going. Are we going to get another batch of secret cards next week? And then is the set going to get released? Like, what's going on there? It would be nice to know a release date for the set. Maybe they haven't hammered it out yet. I would guess the 15th, round there, or maybe the Tuesday after. Like, what are we looking at here? So, we've got the 10th on Sunday. I mean, the 12th would be my first guess, because Tuesday's patch day. It might be the 12th, it might be the 19th. I think those are my two guesses. probably a Tuesday because that's patch day. So it's either going to be 12th or 19th on my 2 guesses for when the set comes out. So we shall see. But anyway, that's about it for the news. If I forgot anything, put it in the comment section as always, because I do miss things. But anyway, thank you all for watching. If you like the content, please subscribe. If you have any feedback, want to ask me any questions, put it in the comment section below. If you'd like to help out the channel directly, there is a link to my Patreon in the description, and there is also a code for a Disquisitive Spirit Card Back and 75,000 gold if you are new to the game. Bow now, it's been Jotto, signing off.